the Mediterranean Sea, a cradle of civilization and the birthplace of legends that have shaped the human psyche for millennia. Among these myths, one name resonates above all others when we speak of beauty and desire: Aphrodite. She was more than just a face on a shell. She was a primal force, a ruler of hearts, and an architect of destiny. In this documentary, we explore the origins, the conflicts, and the enduring legacy of the Olympian goddess of love. According to Hesiod, her story begins with a cosmic rebellion and a violent act against the sky god Uranus. From the severed remains of the Titan cast into the sea, white foam gathered, giving birth to the foam-born goddess. Yet, Homer offers a different tale, depicting her as the daughter of Zeus and the Titaness Dione. These two origins reflect her dual nature, encapsulated in her two most famous epithets, Urania and Pandemos. Aphrodite Urania represents the celestial, spiritual love that transcends the physical realm. In contrast, Aphrodite Pandemos is the goddess of all the people, representing common, earthly passion. Regardless of her birth, the winds first carried her to Cythera and then to the sun-drenched shores of Cyprus. There she was greeted by the Horae, the seasons, who dressed her in divine garments and led her to Olympus. Her arrival on the mountain of the gods was a moment of profound change for the Olympian order. Her beauty was so overwhelming that every god in attendance immediately desired her as a wife. This was the power of Kalos, a beauty so absolute it could bend the will of immortals and mortals alike. To prevent a war among the gods, Zeus made a strategic decision that would shock the divine court. He married Aphrodite to Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship, known for his physical imperfections. It was a union of the most beautiful and the most rugged, intended to maintain stability through contrast. But Aphrodite's primary weapon was not a sword. It was her magical girdle, the cestus. Whoever wore it became irresistible, drawing others toward them with an inescapable magnetic force. Stability, however, was not in the nature of the goddess of desire. Her heart soon strayed. She found a passionate match in Ares, the violent and handsome god of war. Their union represented the eternal link between passion and aggression, two sides of the same human coin. Hephaestus, suspicious and vengeful, used his unmatched skill to forge an unbreakable, invisible net. He caught the lovers in the act and invited the other gods to witness their humiliation. While the goddesses stayed away out of modesty, the male gods roared with laughter at the scene. After being released, a humiliated Aphrodite fled to Paphos to restore her divinity in the sacred waters. From her various unions, she became the mother of several significant deities, most notably Eros. Eros, with his bow and arrows, became her enforcer, sparking love, or heartache, at her command. Aphrodite's power extended beyond mere attraction. She controlled the very urge to create and unite. Without her influence, the Greeks believed, life itself would cease to propagate and flourish. Her presence was always marked by her sacred symbols, particularly the dove. The rose, her sacred flower, became the universal emblem of romantic love across all cultures. The mirror represented her role as the guardian of self-image and the appreciation of beauty. Unlike many gods who remained distant, Aphrodite was deeply involved in the lives of mortals. Consider the sculptor Pygmalion, who fell in love with his own ivory statue. Moved by his devotion, Aphrodite breathed life into the stone, turning art into reality. But she was also capable of mortal heartbreak, as seen in her tragic love for Adonis. Adonis, a hunter of peerless beauty, was fatally wounded by a wild boar during a chase. From his blood and her tears, the anemone flower was born, a symbol of short-lived beauty. Her most impactful intervention, however, began at the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. Eris, the goddess of discord, threw a golden apple labelled, "For the fairest," into the assembly. Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all claimed the prize, and Zeus appointed the Trojan prince Paris to judge. While others offered power and victory, Aphrodite offered him the most beautiful woman on earth. Paris chose Aphrodite, setting in motion a chain of events that would lead to total war. This was the start of the Trojan War, a decade of slaughter triggered by a single promise of love. She even took to the battlefield to protect her son Aeneas, showing her fierce maternal instinct. Aeneas would go on to survive the fall of Troy and travel to the land that would become Rome. In Rome, Aphrodite was reimagined as Venus, the mother of the Roman people and a symbol of state power. As Venus Victrix, she was no longer just the goddess of love, but also a protector of the empire. Her worship was centered in Paphos, where one of the most famous sanctuaries in the ancient world stood. Some of her temples, like the one in Corinth, were associated with the controversial practice of sacred prostitution. The Aphrodisia festival was a time of great celebration, where the goddess's altars were purified with dove's blood. But Aphrodite also had a darker side. She could be vengeful and cruel to those who neglected her worship. In the tragedy of Hippolytus, she punished a prince who favored Athena, leading to his horrific death. It was a reminder that the forces of nature she represented, desire and attraction, could not be ignored. After the rise of Christianity, Aphrodite's image was suppressed, but her influence never truly vanished. The Renaissance saw her triumphant return, most famously in Botticelli's Birth of Venus. She became a symbol of the new humanism, an appreciation for beauty, logic, and the human form. Even today, modern artists continue to interpret her form, using her as a vessel for contemporary ideas. Psychologists speak of the Aphrodite archetype, the part of the psyche that values connection and aesthetic joy. Among the most famous depictions of the goddess is the Venus de Milo, a masterpiece of Hellenistic sculpture discovered in the 19th century. Science now explains the chemical reactions she once symbolized, but the mystery of attraction remains. Its missing arms have only added to its allure, making it a universal symbol of mysterious and timeless beauty. From the runways of Paris to the screens of Hollywood, her legacy lives on in our obsession with glamour. Her name is still used to market perfumes, luxury goods, and anything that promises allure. At her core, Aphrodite is a goddess of the natural world, the blooming of flowers and the mating of species. In the world of high fashion and fragrance, her essence is continually bottled and branded to promise a touch of the divine. She represents the universal impulse toward life, a force that precedes and outlasts all civilizations. Our modern obsession with aesthetics is, in many ways, a continuation of the ancient worship of Aphrodite. As we look back at her myths, we see a tapestry of human experience, from the highest joy to the deepest grief. The lesson of Aphrodite is that beauty is not shallow. It is a profound and transformative power. Every time we appreciate a sunset or fall in love, we are, in a sense, paying tribute to her. Aphrodite, the foam-born, the golden, the queen of hearts. Her story is our story. She remains a potent archetype, reminding us that the desire for connection is fundamental to the human experience. The eternal goddess of love and beauty continues to watch over the world she helped to create. If you found this documentary informative and engaging, please leave a like and subscribe. Watch our next video on the secrets of Olympus right now.